Hi everybody, Patty Ann here. Today I'm going to show you a really fun project, and this is something I'm going to make for my little grandbabies. Remember, I have twin grandbabies who are 2 years old, and I've gotten these tiles that I'm going to use from Lowe's, and I'll show you those in a minute. But let me show you some of the pictures that I've found, some of the cartridges that are free in Cricut Design Space that you can make for your kids, your grandkids. Maybe you're a homeschooler parent, you can do it for those. So I was just going through my cartridges today that are available to me because I'm an Access member. And if you're not sure how to join Cricut Access, I'll have a link down below. It is an affiliate link, which means I get a tiny commission, but there's no extra charge for you. And if you are a Cricut Access member, you get 10% off of everything you buy from the Cricut store. So let me show you some of these things I found. Now what I'm planning to do is put these on the tiles that I'll show you shortly. They can be used for matching, for counting, for sequencing, for colors, matching, for number matching, letter matching, maybe even word matching. So let me just show you a few of the things that I found that are cool pictures. And then, of course, you can always do the words and the numbers yourself. So I'll just scroll through a few of these quickly. They're just fun. You know, they just teach kids to be observant. Like they might want to click this one and think they match. This one on the right in the middle and this one on the left in the middle and think they match. They have to be very observant. Dinosaurs, what kid doesn't like dinosaurs? And space travel. And notice up here in the upper left-hand corner, it tells you the name of the cartridge that these came from. So I just think this would be so much fun. Okay, I just thought these were adorable. They're car decals, and one of the reasons why I really liked it is if you look down here at the bottom right here, where I'm putting some that I'm entering, look at all those little Cricut guys. Wouldn't that be fun? And there are more of them than that. Whoops, let's see what else we got. The first few years, basic shapes. They can learn their basic shapes by matching. Cat silhouettes, clothing. Now they're just learning to talk, so I think some of these would be really good too. If they match them up, they could say shirt or jacket or hat, socks. And these are just cute, cutie animals. They're adorable. And some more silhouettes of dogs. And again, they'd have to be observant to see, you know, which one matches the other one. Or maybe they want to do poodle, poodle, Great Dane. Poodle, poodle, Great Dane, you know, depending on what you make. And by the way, I'm going to show you how to make a box to keep your little tiles in too. So I'll just scroll through some of these. Did you know that there was this heartbeat thing? I wouldn't use this for this purpose, but I just put it in here because I thought it was pretty cool. And of course you could take out any one of these images and add your own. Okay, I thought it'd be kind of cute to make a chessboard, right? You can make the chess pieces if somebody's older. And another thing, checkers or X's and O's, and the O could be a heart. These tiles are perfect for a lot of this stuff. Kitchen utensils for the little kids. Okay, this one was for me. I just saved it for the coffee because, you know, I like my Joe. Just some more pictures. The kids seem to really like music, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to have them starting to learn maybe what musical instruments look like and perhaps their names. Easter, leaves, again, just their observation skills will be practiced by trying to find leaves that are the same if they're playing a matching game. There aren't that many in this one, but I thought they were cute, and I figured I could probably make them just as silhouettes. They live in Colorado and they're having a lot of snow, so I thought this one would be cute. Some more Easter. Gardening art. Okay, I guess that's it. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay. Yep. That's what I've done so far. And there are probably many more than this that you could use in Access, except for I accidentally had the letter S in the search field, so that the only things that came up for me were words that had the letter S in it. But anyway, so follow me down to my table and I'll show you what I'm going to use to make these really cool, cheap tiles. Okay, here we are at my desk and I'm showing you the tiles that I got from Lowe's. Now they were not as cheap as I thought they were, and you really can't see that very well. It was, I think, $7.89 for this piece. But if I figure I can make, if I'm making the X and O games, I can make I need 6 of them per game, right? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I only need 6 per game. Anyway, I could make 1 game, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could make 6 games out of this for X's and O's, and for Valentine's Day, I could make it X's and hearts. And I'll show you again at the very end how to make a box that they could fit into. So these things are really good. They work well. They come attached to a backing that you have to take them off of. When you take them off of the backing, they're really, really rough. You wouldn't want kids playing with this on a table or anything. So what I did was I went to Design Space and I created a file so that you could make little felt ones that you could just iron on the back. And yes, I cut the little squares out with my Cricut Explorer machine. So what I did was I used light Steam-A-Seam. And what you do is you just cut a piece off of this. Here's a small piece. And then here's a piece of felt so I can show you what I did. You take off one side of this. If you just kind of squiggle it around in your fingers, one side, this paper side, one of them comes off easier, and then this is the sticky stuff. So then what you do is you take this, you put it on your felt, and you iron it on really, really well. And then what you do is you take this paper part off. And then when you place it on your mat, you place it sticky side down. And what I did was I came over to, well, come over here and join me at my Cricut Design Space. Okay, so what I did when I went to make it was, one of the things that I did, and I've shown you before, was I made a little teeny tiny practice square, and I'm glad I did because my first 2 attempts were not good. So I made this practice square and I did him first, and then after that was successful, after I tried it a few times, then I cut this out. Now I'll come back down to my table and you'll see how well it cut. Here were my practices. Okay, not good down here, right? One was okay, but the other 2 were not good. So one of the things I discovered was, and I'd forgotten, is that you have to take the paper backing off of the Steam-A-Seam too, or the light. And then you can just peel this away like this. Easy as that. And of course you could make these any color you wanted to. I just happened to make them red because I was planning on doing some Valentine X's and hearts, the game X's and O's. So there they are, just like that. Let me throw that piece away. And then I just need to come like this, and I can grab them carefully. You gotta try to be careful so you don't stretch them. Take them right off of here. They have the sticky stuff on the back now. And then I can get one of these tiles. I think I loosened one, yeah. And just place this on the back here. And I could do a whole bunch of them at once and probably use my EasyPress, but what I did was I just used my iron. And then what I did was the backing that you take off before you put your felt down on your mat is like parchment paper. So all you need to do is cover all of your little guys with parchment paper, put them on a surface that you can iron on, use your iron or your EasyPress. I guess the EasyPress would probably be at about 320 degrees. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that. But what I did was I just put this on here, and with my regular iron, I just added pressure. I had it on the highest temperature it could be, and I did it for about 20 seconds. took it off, and it's perfect. It's not coming off of there. So again, I cut this with my Cricut Explorer Air 2, and the one would work just as well, because the only difference from what I understand is the Air 2 can cut faster, and I never really used that. So I wanted to check too then. I just got regular Cricut vinyl that I had used before. I always save some scraps to use for things like this, because I wanted to see, well, now this is an experiment I'm doing. Is this stuff going to stick well on here? So I just adhered to, I wiped this first clean. You know me and my alcohol, right? I wiped it really squeaky clean with the isopropyl alcohol first. And then I didn't wipe this one. Yeah, I did. I wiped it clean, and then I put this on to see how well it was going to stick, and by goodness, it sticks a lot. It really sticks well. So this could be a game that would last for a long time. This is just the everyday vinyl. I imagine you could use the permanent vinyl too if you'd prefer. So let me go over to Cricut Design Space and show you how I made the squares now. Okay, before we go over to Cricut Design Space, I wanted to show you one more thing. Maybe you can notice that my mat has some residue on it from the felt, some fabric fibers. I use non-alcohol baby wipes. Non-alcohol is important, I hear. Maybe alcohol would clean it too squeaky clean, and we don't want to clean the stickum right off. And then I just start going like this over it gently. And maybe you can see as, whoops, it's probably wiggling the table crazy, but you can probably see that I'm getting the fibers right off. So try not to wiggle my table so much. So again, this is non-alcohol. I don't believe it matters what brand, you just have to make sure that it says non-alcohol. The brand I happen to have that I'm using right now, sorry about the wiggle, is, let's see all that, or Huggies. But okay, now we're over here in Design Space, and remember to join our Facebook group, Cricut Design Space with Patty Ann. It's a group on Facebook, and I'll have a link for it down below. I'll also have links to my affiliates. Remember, if you're in the market to buy something and you use one of my links, I get a tiny little commission, which helps me be able to buy products like this felt and those tiles and things, so I can show you all how to do things, and especially so I can do the experimenting for you. And when I have mess ups like those little squares, I do the mess up for you, and then you don't have to. So anyway, let's go to Cricut Design Space and get busy. So on Cricut Design Space, here's what I ended up with right here. So the first thing that I did was I measured how much the squares were. So let me go to cancel this. And I found out, let me move this one over here. I found out that each of these little squares of this particular one that I got from Lowe's measures 1.875 or 1 7/8. So I came up here to shapes and I got a square and I made it 1.875. And then I hit enter, and the lock is locked, so it turns out perfectly. And then what I did was I came over here and I got another shape and I had measured the piece of felt that I had, and it was, well, let me double check it. It is 9 by 12 basically. So I'm going to change its height to 12. I'm going to unlock it. The height to 12, enter, and I'm going to change its width to 9. Enter. All right, so I know that's how much space I had. And just so I didn't get confused, I actually went ahead and turned this to red. So I remember this is my felt. And then I changed the little box to white. So the next thing I did was it goes behind, so we know what I need to do. I want it on top. So I can just right click and go send to front. And now it's on the front. And then I just came over here and duplicated it. I actually tried 5 times first. I hoped 5 would fit across, but I've discovered that only 4 fit across. and I kind of space them like that. So then what I did was I came here, clicked on the first one, held down my shift key, and clicked on each of the other ones. And then I came up to align bottom. Okay, the other thing that I did while they were all still selected was I came up here again to align, and I said align, distribute horizontally. Okay, whoopsie, watch this. They were kind of already good, so watch what happens when I do this now. Click on the first one, hold down my shift key, click on the second, third, and fourth, and now I'm going to come up here to align and distribute horizontally. And you see how that spaced them all perfectly even? I like that. All right, so now what I did was I clicked on the first one, held down the shift key, clicked on the second and on the third and the fourth, and then I came over here to the right and I said group. Okay, the next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to duplicate these groups. So there's another group, and duplicate it again, and duplicate it again. I don't remember how many rows I made, maybe 5. So now what I can do is I can click on this first one, hold down my shift key, click on the second, hold down my shift still. Don't let go of your shift key, hold on that, grab that one, and then grab that one. So they're all grabbed now. And I can come to align and distribute vertically. Now they're spaced the right way, but I don't really like how they are, so I'm going to go align left, and then I'm just going to start moving them up a little closer, like this. And now, once again, I'm going to click on them, hold down the shift key, and click, 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 and click, and then say align left, and then align, distribute vertically. All right, so now they're totally aligned well. This one down here is a little too close to the bottom for my liking though, so, and especially because I want you all to do that test on your machine, so I'm going to move these up closer. So I'm just going to go through the whole same process again. I want to leave some space at the bottom for testing. All right, let's see, how's that look? Oh yeah, plenty down there now. So now once again, I'm going to click this one, hold down the shift key, grab them all by clicking on them, and again come up here, align left. I like them all aligned nicely over there, and then align, distribute vertically. All right, so we still have plenty of space down here for our test. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of all of these boxes. I think I will change them to maybe a pink. Okay, that changed them all at once. See, that's a wonderful new feature that we have now. I love that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get another little box, little shape, a box, a square, and I'm going to bring them down to the bottom down here. This is my tester, and I'm going to do this and put him right there. And I'm going to change his color to white. And it should be the first thing that is cut when we go to make it are the things that are white. So let me hide the backing, hide that back, we don't need that. And I already had one here, I guess. I'm going to delete that one. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to make it. Okay, it's going to rearrange these things, and I don't want them rearranged like this. So I'm going to go to cancel. And it's also making this one over here, so I'm going to come over, click on it, and this group here, I'm going to hide it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell these to be attached, and then I'm going to come to make it. So when we look at this, they're oriented the way I want them to be. I'm going to have my longer section down here, and it's 9 by what was it, 11 or 12? Must have been 12. Okay, so I'm going to cancel, or not going to cancel that. I'm going to go to this one now. I can't have this guy cut out right here. I have to move him way down here. Let's see. I need to move him down here by around the 11-inch mark. So there he is, right around there. That should be fine. So then I'm going to go to continue. I'm going to select my machine. And, excuse me, for the material, I went to Browse All Materials. I came to All Categories, and I clicked on Fabric. And I came down to Felt. Now, this isn't really wool felt, but it is bonded. It's bonded with Steamus Seam 2 Light. So I click on that and click Done. Okay, the first thing I wanted to show you was something I just discovered, and you guys probably know this if you work with these kind of materials, but if you just go like this and bend this in between the tiles, then that kind of gives you a place to grab onto so that you don't have to risk chipping these other ones while you're trying to get these off. Okay, now I have already done 5 of these, and by the way, I discovered that I needed more than what I thought for the game. So what I've discovered is, let's see, is this adhering pretty well? Yeah. Yeah, that looks great. So make sure that you leave it on there long enough. So it's about 20 seconds, and then I kind of twirled them around. I did 4 of them at once, and I like this. And I put the parchment paper on top. I did about 4 or 5 of them at one time, pressed it for 20 seconds with my iron on the hottest setting. Again, you can use your heat press, because that way you could do a whole slew of them at once. And then what I did was I turned them around a little bit, and just to make sure I was getting all the edges, and then I put the paper, parchment paper, back on and pressed them again. So now what I'm ready to do is I've already gone ahead and printed out, or not printed out, cut out the X's for the X's and O game. And so, with my scissors, so I can cut some of this off. And I need a piece of transfer paper. And the transfer paper that I'm using is just the Cricut transfer paper. But first I need to weed. Okay, that was easy. So what I did was I made 5 X's and 4 O's, or 4 hearts, because in my world, the X's always went first, so you'd never need more than 4 of the hearts or the O's. So just burnish this on here. Okay. All right, that's perfect. Now I'm going to put this back on here for just a second, because I'm not quite ready to use these, because as you know, I have to clean these first with the alcohol. If I don't do this, I don't believe they're going to stick as well as I would want them to. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to go back and squeaky them. Make sure they're really clean. I'm going to take one of these and just kind of center it as best I can. It's not a matter of life and death. I can use my squeegee. And voila. Next, center them with my eye only. Squeegee, or burnish, I guess is the proper term. There we go. 2 X's. I can actually fold that paper back like that, so I don't have to worry about getting the next one on. There we go. Burnish. Peel it off. Okay, I have my 4 hearts cut out. They've been weeded, and I'm just now putting them on the transfer paper. Again, I'm using Cricut transfer paper, which I absolutely love. You know, sometimes people say, I don't really like Cricut this or Cricut that. And in general, I love all the Cricut things. Here's the thing you have to think about too. You know, Cricut is not going to purposely make a product that's inferior, or they're not going to sell an inferior product to go with their machine. You know, they're a business. They want to have good products to go with the machines that they sell. So you can trust Cricut. I certainly do. And I love them. Look at that. It's just working like a dream. Cricut vinyl, Cricut transfer tape. Using my Cricut machine, Explore Air, to cut felt that has had light Steam-A-Seam 2 put on it. So there's my game. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a box that you can keep these in. So join me back at Cricut Design Space. Okay, the first thing I'd like to show you down here is the box that I made, and I'm really very happy with it. It's very strong, and actually the product that I use is Cricut. And you know, I've bought these before from the dollar store, and this actually this is a lot stronger than that is. So I like to put these back in here. They fit like this. And then I have to put 2 on either side like that to make them fit perfectly. And that's the box. Hear how strong and sturdy it is? It's really a nice thing. But the first thing I made mine out of was just a piece of cheaper card or cheaper paper that I had, because I wanted to test it first to make sure that I was making it large enough. Then after I tested it out of the cheap paper, then I went ahead and got my Cricut poster board, and this is what I used to make it. Comes in lots of nice pretty colors, including that pink that I just used. Okay, to make the box in Cricut Design Space, the first thing I did was brought back one of the pieces of the tiles that's the size that they are, which is 1.875. So I have that for my reference. And then I went up here to images, and I typed in box, and there's a whole slew of boxes that we could use here, and there was one I really wanted to use, but I decided I think this would be an easier one to use for right now. So I'm just going to click on one of them. It doesn't matter which one. They look like this. Okay, this one is from the flower box. It's called Flower Box. And it's from the cartridge named Wrap It Up. Anyway, I'm going to click on that one, highlight it, and insert it. Okay, here it is. Now the first thing I need to do for this one is to come up here to ungroup. After I've ungrouped it, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to say detach. And what that does is it detaches these score lines from the box. And then the reason why I have to do that is because I want to weld this lighter orangey color or peachy color to the darker one. So I'm going to click on the box, and it's kind of hard to see over here what I'm getting because it looks like I've highlighted the score lines, and that's not what I want. I want the box, hold down my shift key, and get the cut that's in the box behind it. So I just want these 2 layers selected, and I'm going to come down here to weld, and it's going to weld them together into one piece. And I can change it to whatever color I like. And now I'm going to come to the score and highlight it and then click and say move to front. Another thing I could have done was just dragged it. If you watch this over in the layers panel, I can highlight this and drag it up above that one. So now it's at the top. Anyway, I just want my score line to be visible. So this is about ready to go, except for I'm not sure that the sizing is correct. So we have this little square right here. Oh, I need to right click on him and bring him to the front. Oh, looks like the box is highlighted, so I'm going to send it to the back. Which means this guy, oh, wait a minute. Did you see what happened when I moved that? Remember when I detached those score lines? They're no longer attached. I need to make sure they're attached. So I'm going to keep undoing this. Here we go. There are my score lines on top again. I need to reattach those so they stay where they're supposed to be. And now I can bring this guy and I'm going to send him to the front. And I'm going to bring him over here. So this is the bottom of the box. You can see it's a little larger than what I need it to be. So I could just go ahead and take my box and make it smaller. And this will still fit in there perfectly. The only thing I need to make sure of is that there's enough room on either side, because since I tested this already, this box isn't deep enough for all of these to fit one on top of the other stacked. So I have to have two on the sides, and this is plenty of room for that. So I can get rid of this, exit out, and now I can just go to make this. Make it. Okay, I am using my heat press to do this set. I have 10 of these little squares. As you can see, they're shiny or glossy on one side. On the other side is where it's really rough. So that's why I've put on this felt that I cut out with my Cricut Explorer machine. I have bonded it with Steam a Seam 2. So I'm going to put a cover sheet on this. I always like to do that just in case something's going to get on my heat press or my EasyPress. I don't want that to happen. Now it's just told me that it's at 320 degrees. So I'm going to bring it over, place it on here, and hit the C to start the timer and apply pressure. Whoops, sorry, I just banged my mic. And I'm applying pressure and I'm letting it go for 20 seconds. And it beeps to let me know that's done. So I'll take it off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twirl these around a little bit just to make sure that all the edges are getting done how I'd like. So I'm just kind of twirling them. Okay, I want to add something in here really quickly. Since this is Steam a Seam and I'm using my EasyPress, remember I have it set to 340 and 20, I've decided I'm just to make extra sure I'm getting a little water and patting it on the felt so that it's a little bit wet. That was a little bit too much probably. And then I just move them over here. And I do cover them the first time with my press cloth. And let me move this out of the way. I'm going to bring my EasyPress over. And I would, if I wasn't holding my phone, I'd be applying a lot of pressure. You'll notice that the temperature is going to go down quickly because of the cold water. You see that? And you see how the green light's not lit anymore? But that's okay, because I'm going to wait till this time is up. And I'm going to do it a second time because I just thought maybe if I do the Steam a Seam the way it's supposed to be done with steam, it would be better. So I could either use my steam iron or I'm trying this with the EasyPress. So those are still kind of wet. And it says, my Cricut says it's ready again, or my EasyPress, and I'm going to do it again, timer. So I do it 2 or 3 times at 20 seconds. And another thing to consider too, if you do have an issue with the felt sticking, rather than using the Steam a Seam Light, perhaps there's a Steam a Seam Regular that you could use, or a Strong.
but really I haven't had any trouble with mine sticking. So that's it. I just wanted to stick that in here.
Okay, the last thing I have to show you in this little tutorial is this is the first set I'm going to make my daughter or my grandbabies. These are all going to be silhouettes of little animals and things. So what I did was I just got one of those little squares out that I had before. Remember these squares? And they measure, if you look up here, 1.875 times 1.875. So that was how large I knew I could make the animals. So then what I did was I brought in a cat, and he was much bigger than this, and then I just shrunk him down so he fit on here. And then I just came over here to duplicate, so I had 2 of each animal. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this again. I'm going to hide it. And I'm going to go to make it to see how this is going to put it on my mat. Just curious. Okay, they're going to be a little bit hard probably to get apart on the mat like that. I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to separate these guys apart a little bit. All right, I've got to see now if this fits on the mat. It may be too wide. Oh, I forgot to say attach. So I want to grab all of this. I need to make it smaller so I can see it all. And then, I can hide this because I'm not going to make this. You can come over here and grab all of these. Actually, you can come up here too. I never knew this button existed until just recently. See this? If I want to select everything, just hit select all and it grabs it all. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to attach. Then I'm going to come to make it and see if it's going to fit. Yep, perfect. Okay, I'm going to make this. I'll need a sheet that's 12 inches by about 8 inches, so I make sure I have enough. I'll make these guys and then I'll finish up my daughter and grandchildren's game. Okay, if you'll look down here, you'll notice I have a lot of animals that I've already cut and weeded, and I have some tiles that are prepared that I showed you just a little bit ago. So I'm just going to grab a few of these little animals. I guess I'll start with the pigs. And let's see, I can move up here a little bit so you can see me. I've already gone ahead and used the alcohol on my tiles. Let's see if I can grab these pigs up right quick. Sure enough, there he comes. Great. All right, now the hard thing's going to be just putting one pig on because they're so close together. That's why I should have moved them a little further apart probably. But I think I can do it. He's got a little tiny tail. Let's see, there he goes. Very good, isn't that cute? This is going to be a cute little game for them. I'm trying to think of some things you could do with these. You know, like I said, you can do sequencing. You can do what noises do maybe these animals make, or somebody can make the noise and then the other twin has to figure out which animal it is. Or maybe you can just say, where's the kitty? You know, where's the cat? And just find a cat. And then where's the matcher for the cat? And eventually, you know, they could play this as a matching game where you turn over the tiles. I'm wondering if the tiles will, you know, hold up that well if you played it like that. But hey, just a homemade educational toy, and you can just see how well it works from there. Great. There, isn't that cute? I love this. This is so cute, you guys. And it'd probably be cute if I had black as the backing for the felt. The felt that I bought was just the cheap felt that they had on sale. I think it was like $5 for $1 at Joann's. It wasn't the better stuff. Let's see. I think I have a sheet of it right here. Probably have this label on it still. Yeah. It's the EcoFi Classic Felt 9x12. I think it's the cheaper one, though. It's not the stiffer one that was a little more expensive.
Okay, these are really cute. I've got to do the horse to see how his legs turn out. Okay, let's just grab the horse. Okay, after I put this horse on, I should probably end this video. Just remember, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and share it. Also, I love your comments. I really like comments and questions. The questions just really keep me going because that helps me to learn. If I don't know the answer, I try to figure it out for you. So there he is. He's cute. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Stick to the pig. Sticking. Oh, no. Yikes. Ugh. That little Cricut guy would be saying, Patty Ann, be careful. Okay. You know, I could have cut a piece of transfer paper a lot smaller so I wouldn't have that problem going on. Anyway, like I said, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the link below for our Facebook group and my affiliate links. And if you're in the market to purchase something, you know, use my link. It just helps me be able to buy products like this so I can continue to experiment for you guys and to show you some new things that we can do with our machines. So again, thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.